The Bitcoin bulls continue to rally higher, and the question now becomes, if this next level of resistance is broken, if the macro structure of the bear trend comes to an end right here, right now, is the target truly 10,000 USD? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. What is going on, my friends? Today I'd like to discuss Bitcoin and the macro trend right now. We are literally at the boiling point, ladies and gentlemen. This is the point where we're going to see an epic rejection or an epic boom, in my opinion. And as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right, so we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice, this is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and observations on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. Being said, let's begin right here on the weekly time frame. As we can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are clearly coming up into our range of interest. But before we do that, I want to just briefly discuss the bottom here, right? This has been a highly controversial topic. Is this the bottom here? Are we seeing that 3,100 was in fact it? Are we not going to even retest that level, let alone break it and plunge to new lows? Well, let's discuss here. I believe the weekly time frame is a really good one to look at for the case that this could be in fact the bottom, right? Even if we are to retest down, that level can hold, right? So let's discuss here. Obviously, we bounced off our 200 weekly moving average all the way back here in about December of 2018. We bounced off there, found a retrace, bounced off of it again, and ultimately we went to break through our crazy resistance ceiling here, right? And obviously, as we all know, if we go back in the chart, Bitcoin ended its last bear market by bouncing off the 200 weekly moving average, and then we all know what happened from there on out through 2017, right? So where we stand now is very interesting because of the fact that we bounced off that level twice. If we pull up our RSI here as well, we could see at that same period in time, the RSI bottomed out into oversold conditions for the first time since the end of the last bear market. Also, another nice sign there that may in fact be the bottom. And obviously, most importantly now, we took out our resistance ceiling here, which is that red box I have outlined, and we broke all of our prior highs because, as we all know, throughout the entire bear market, Bitcoin just continuously put in a series of lower high after lower high after lower high after lower high, right? And this is an example, an exemplification, if you will, of it's just what's the best way to put it? The lower highs are so characteristic of a bear market because it's just proving that the buy pressure cannot beat the sell pressure. And every time that there's a rally to test a new high, it fails and the sell pressure proves to be too great, right? And this is a huge characteristic of a bear market. Now, for the first time since the height of the bubble at 20,000, Bitcoin took out and created a new higher high for the first time right here with our monstrosity of a candle, a 24% candle to the upside in less than 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen. Heinous, ludicrous, and a borderline debacle if you do in fact ask me. But the fact of the matter here is that we broke through our resistance ceiling, put in a new higher high, and now we've continued this uptrend all the way into our point of interest of where we stand right now. The reason I'm saying for me this is the biggest point of interest is because of this confluence, ladies and gentlemen, here at around the $6,000 to $6,500 level. Now, for me, if you guys are subscribed here, you would know that I've been saying this whole area is very objective and subjective as to where you want to say the ultimate resistance is, because it chops around, right? There's a lot of wicks, relative bottoms, not true bottoms, etc. So for me, what I'm doing right now is I'm going out to the monthly chart where these candles are more condensed. The data is easier to read instead of a bunch of small candles to pick and choose from. This really crunches the candle bodies into a more easy to read format, in my opinion. So you guys can clearly see here that my pink box here, which is a tentative rejection point, because it would be for me the zone where there was the most confluence of old support, which should now, per classical technical analysis theory, become new resistance. And this zone for me begins at about 63.44 and goes all the way up to just above 6,900. Now I'm sure that many, ladies and gentlemen, will, "Oh, Kirby, well, that's almost a 10% gap, Kirby, what do you mean?" The thing is, James, the thing is, Joe, is that we must expect massive volatility when we enter up into this region. We can clearly see right now that we are looking to test into it right now. In fact, our prior high here was 63.20. As I've stated, this box begins at about 63.40, 63.50 for me here. So we have relatively touched it already. But the fact of the matter is, what happens if we don't get rejected at this box, right? The reasons, let me back up one second. Let me discuss why there's sentiment for this box to get rejected, right? So obviously here on the weekly time frame, the RSI, or excuse me, on the monthly time frame, the RSI is still very good. I mean, we're only at a 54 on the monthly. Very nice and neutral. Here on the weekly, the picture starts to get a little bit different. As we can see, we've clearly bounced off of our oversold conditions and have just been on a straight parabolic rise, looking to test up into overbought conditions, which can, predict a potential rejection and correction back down into a neutral territory. As we could see, though, the interesting thing is that Bitcoin loves to remain overbought for a very long time. As we could see here, ladies and gentlemen, these areas are so long. I mean, we're talking years of being in overbought conditions. So, and that's on the weekly time frame for the RSI. So it's interesting to me because from what we're seeing here in the past, it doesn't necessarily mean that if this RSI goes up into overbought territory that we're going to need to see an immediate rejection, whereas more so on the smaller time frames, like the daily and the 4-hour, etc., we see that these overbought conditions generally lead to pullbacks and push back ups, relatively all the time, right? And for what we're seeing on the weekly time frame, that hasn't been the case historically. And as we all know, if you are subscribed here, that the larger the time frame, the more reliable the data, right? So for me on a macro level here, ladies and gentlemen, the thing is that even if we are to get into overbought territory, if we are to crush through this level here, we could have some legs to run. We could have some legs to run. But for me right now, we are seeing that the daily time frame is overbought. Let's get into the RSI here. Daily time frame is overbought. The metric is currently at an 80. We still are on a bit of a bearish divergence here, albeit it's looking better to me right now. We still see that our NVT, which has been historically accurate in calling Bitcoin tops and bottoms of the macro trend dating back to 2012, we're still in our red territory here, keeping me on the side of caution, although just like the RSI can remain overbought for a very long time, what we've seen here on the NVT as well is that the NVT can stay in the red for a very long time. Just this last one here was 113 days, and where we currently stand now on this NVT run has been less than 40 days. So we're looking at essentially almost 3 times the length on the prior one. So this doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to need to dump anytime soon, right? And if that is in fact the case here, I'm seeing sentiment when we look out on that monthly time frame that if we are able to break up into this range here and not reject, ladies and gentlemen, if we are to get above this pink box. Oh ho ho. Let's get into the targets because, ladies and gentlemen, I think this may be about to be very prosperous, juicy, and epic for us all here inside the cryptocurrency market. But if you are just tuning in now, don't forget to moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell. Let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. Sheesh. Ladies and gentlemen, so we understand why this could be a rejection point, right? We're flirting with the area of rejection right now. Truthfully, I believe anywhere in this range from about 6,350, truthfully, ladies and gentlemen, up to 6,900 could be a macro top, right? And if that is in fact the case, I would be looking for a consolidation anywhere. Let's go out to the weekly. I just want to discuss this potential retrace before we get into the targets of the bullish trend to the upside. If we are to reject anywhere in this box, my target area number 1 is going to become this area right here, our prior consolidation zone, right? And we could look to bounce around in here and look to retest and then break through, right? Or if that fails, this box does not hold, it would then become this old area that was our old resistance, which we would like to then see become new support, right? Very simple in my eyes right here of what I'm looking for. There may be absolutely life-changing profits to be made here on short trades, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a small range, right? If we are to extrapolate from that box all the way down here, we're looking at monster moves of almost 40% to the downside. Absolutely savage and potentially life-changing for those that are trading it correctly and taking advantage of the volatility. Personally, ladies and gentlemen, I will be keeping my VIPs up to date with every single trade I make in absolute real time. I keep you guys all updated in VIP with my trades in real time. To the exact second that I make my trades, post my strategies, my entries, my exits, my take profits. If you'd like all of that from me as I'm trading this market and planning to crush it, you can get that from me in VIP. I will see you all in VIP right now. So now that we've discussed the pullback scenario, let's discuss what happens here if we are to crush through this box, right? Going back to the monthly time frame right now. If we crush through this box, ladies and gentlemen, right, which for me is about 7,000, and I don't mean just a wick above here, right, because we might get a wick. Let's discuss this. I'm not trying to get sidetracked here, ladies and gentlemen, but there is a lot to discuss, and I want to be as thorough as possible here with you all. I'm fired up. Like a charcoal grill on the 4th of July, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I see that the time is here for maximum volatility. And with maximum volatility comes maximum opportunity. And Don Carbanaccio is looking to strike upon it like a cobra out of the grass if these opportunities do in fact arise. And what I see right now is that the shorts are continuing to pile up here. We're seeing that the shorts are already in my interest level number 1, outlined here in the pink box. If the shorts continue to rise, ladies and gentlemen, and we get up into this zone up here, where we've been historically, as you could see all of these peaks, what's happened here when we've got here historically? What's happened here? Oops. 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 Just an absolute short squeeze almost every time we've reached those heights. And as we can see now, we are about 75% of the way there. If we get up into that region, ladies and gentlemen, if the shorts climb that high, we cannot rule out a short squeeze. And we all know what happens on a short squeeze. We get a waterfall in the shorts and generally an epic rise in the price of Bitcoin very, very quickly. More so something like the candle that we saw just back here. And if that is the case, and these shorts pile up to that dangerous level all throughout this region, grandma's cookies and a bottle of yo-ho-ho, ladies and gentlemen, it may just in fact be the perfect storm, the perfect setup for a short squeeze to boom us up past this box and potentially mid the way, maybe all the way, up into my target area of between 9,000 and 10,000 USD. Now, I'm not trying to sound like a moon boy here. I'm not trying to sound like somebody that's giving you this false hope. Oh, here it is, ladies and gentlemen, 10,000, we're going to the moon. That's not how I do it on this channel, ladies and gentlemen. If you are subscribed here, you know that Don Carbonaccio keeps it 100% realistic with you all here. And all I'm saying is that I see the potential for the shorts to get so stacked up inside this range, because we must understand this, in my opinion, and many others' opinions around the space, is the end-all, be-all, ladies and gentlemen. This is the macro structure of the bear market. If the macro structure of the bear market is looming on us right here, what does that mean? This is the last chance hope for the bears to continue the bear market, keep the structure intact, and look for a plunge deep down into the crypto abyss. Right? So if that is still a bearish structure right now, in my opinion, the bears are going to play this absolutely aggressively. And I cannot fault them, right? I'm a full-time swing trader, ladies and gentlemen. You best believe I'm looking for shorting opportunities in here as well. All I'm saying is that you best believe that the bears are going to defend this level very strongly, as this is still, per classical technical analysis theory, part of the bearish structure that, if we cannot break, a continue of the bearish market would be very expected and normal, as we have not been able to break the bearish structure, right? That's just, it's very matter of fact. The macro trend at this point in time has not been broken. And that being the case, bears are likely going to see this as a potential to short the top. See what I'm saying? If there is going to be a top of the macro trend right now, there's a high probability, in my opinion, that it falls somewhere between this box at 6,350 all the way up to 6,900. That is just my opinion, and I believe it is the opinion of many others as well. So, being said, I believe that because that zone may have such an interest from short plays, right, that it could lead to an unhealthy number of shorts in here, which is going to provide a market maker the opportunity to squeeze these things, ladies and gentlemen. Fresh pulp, squeezed, and what we could see is an absolute rocket ship right up into this region. I cannot say how high. That would be absolutely ludicrous for me to give you a number on where the short squeeze could go. But just realistically here, on the monthly time frame, do you see a lot of resistance in here? I mean, if you want to just draw one line here for fun, I mean, we could draw one at about 7,800. But say we get past 7,800 on a squeeze. For me, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking up into a target range of potentially 9,000 to 10,000 USD before we start to get any real levels of harsh rejection territory, in my opinion. Like I've pointed out, the monthly RSI here, probably even at that point would still not even be in overbought territory. Maybe at that time it would be. But if we look at the weekly once again, we could see that this thing historically has had no problem remaining in overbought territory for quite some time. And back on the monthly, we still are in that very neutral territory at only a 54 at the time of recording. I see that this could have room to run. And those shorts, ladies and gentlemen, sheesh, sheesh, sheesh. If we get up into that territory once again, if we get up into this territory, ladies and gentlemen, history, it likes to repeat itself. Of course, past performance is not indicative of future results, but it is a good measurement to look at human emotion and patterns that human traders have followed in the past. And what I'm saying is that we are getting awfully close here, and if we get up there, I think we could get a squeeze that potentially, ladies and gentlemen, could put us in that target range of really, in my opinion, 8,000 or higher, and potentially even up to 10,000. It really depends how you want to look at it. For me right now, this is a very exciting time, but there is going to be a lot of potential wrecked city here. A lot of novice traders are likely going to get wrecked right now, ladies and gentlemen, because of how important the macro structure of the trend is here. So what I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, if there was ever a time to be serious about this market, it's right now. I'm 100% dedicated to this market right now, watching it with an eagle eye, 24/7, ready to get this crypto. I'm strategizing and plotting 24/7. I'm not looking to take that trip to Wrecked City with Average Joe and James at the water cooler. I'm looking to crush this market. And if potentially life-changing trading opportunity presents itself, which I believe it will, I'm looking to strike upon it right here, right now, and crush it for potentially life-changing profit. And I will be keeping you up to date right now in VIP with every trade that I make in here. Every strategy I have, I post it for you. Every strategy I plot, I post it for you. Every entry, exit, target, and take profit. I will keep you updated to the exact second that I make my trades, ladies and gentlemen, exclusively for you in VIP. Shout out to my VIPs. I will see all of you in VIP right now and see all of you new future VIPs in VIP right after this video. Shout out to my VIPs. I will see you in VIP right now. Before we wrap it up here, ladies and gentlemen, also what I'm seeing on the Google Trends data over the past 90 days, we're back on an uptick. Seems like we may have bottomed out a little bit here, giving a little bit more fuel to the fire. And also the crypto fear and greed index, very greedy right now. So this is giving a little bit more credit and credibility to this area potentially being a rejection point. As we all know, when the market gets a little greedy, we do tend to see pullbacks historically, right? Again, past performance is not indicative of future results, but judging off of prior patterns of human emotions in this specific market, we can see that when we get overly greedy, there tends to be a pullback. So watch out right now, ladies and gentlemen. You need to have your finger on the pulse here. You need to be strategizing with every move. I know I am, and that's why I'm keeping you updated in VIP with my plays at this time, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be getting wrecked. Don't be taking that trip to Wreck City with Average Joe and James at the water cooler. The time is now. We've all waited here for this epic precipice of the macro trend to come to fruition. And this is where we are right here, right now. The time is now, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to crush this market, and it's time to get this crypto. I will see you all in VIP right now. I need to get back to my trades here. Guys, if you could, and if you enjoyed, share this video in your chats and your socials. Moon the likes, moon them up. Smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, and tick the little bell. It's time to get this crypto. I'm very, very fired up right now. I hope you understand the level of interest that this is for me here at this specific level. Are we going to get a rejection somewhere into my target vicinity of the old consolidation between 5,300 and 5,500? Are we going to see a plunge deep down into the crypto abyss to retest our old highs, which then could become new support anywhere between 4,200 and 4,400? Or are we going to see the shorts pile up in here, rejections get absolutely smashed through, old support not becoming new resistance, but getting blasted through, and a short squeeze up into the 8, 9, or 10K region? I hope I've outlined all of this for you in absolutely in-depth detail here. You guys know I do these streams nearly each and every day. I'm with my VIPs crushing this market each and every day. And right now, I see that the time is here, ladies and gentlemen. Put on the battle helmet, the trench coat, and the mud boots, because the time is here to get this crypto. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all in VIP right now. Shout out to my VIPs. It's time to crush this market. It's time to transform yourself from Average Joe into Savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I will see you all in VIP right now. Shout out to my VIPs. And until next time, my friends, be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.